ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Sideline Banter, your favorite weekly sports talk show. I'm your host, Cooper Post. Joined with me, as always, my co-host, Weston Murphy. Weston, how you doing on this fine Wednesday evening?
Guten Tag to you. We had the game in Germany this week, or is it Guten Morgen? Either way.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think you got it right the first one.
I think you did.
Either
right
way, let's
time.
Guten it going, huh? How about that? Because this show is about to be fucking sick, off the chain, German style.
Holy shit.
I mean, we're feeling Italy with the drinks tonight. Got the little wine going, but it might as well be Oktoberfest because we're partying hard today.
I love that energy. You got me going.
Hey, Brady went stupid in Germany. The stadium was packed to the gills, and we got a show packed to the gills for you guys tonight. Little questions on the fucking sweep in the socials, and I think a good week of games, honestly, to talk about. I think the juiciest game of the whole year so far, honestly, undeniably.
Facts.
Oh, you're talking about the Vikings game?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
we're calling it
game.
the Vikings game. He's not even referring to the Bills anymore.
I mean, yeah.
Said forget about him.
Forget about them, yeah. I think the Bills are... I'm not going to say they're dead, but they're close.
That's disrespectful.
They're close.
Hey, that was my...
that's a freezing cold take, friends.
That was my Super Bowl
They're not Super Bowl contenders anymore, in my opinion.
Freezing cold take.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
They literally shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, but they've lost 3 games now where everybody's been making nothing but excuses for them. It's like, at what point do we look at them and say they have problems? Josh Allen, 2 costly turnovers in that game. He threw 3 turnovers in that game.
Oh, yeah, undeniably.
Yeah.
The fumble at the back of the end zone.
That's a quarterback center thing. That's different.
But that can't be happening in
That's
that.
circumstantial.
That can't be happening in that situation.
Yeah, but that's also play call. He just as well could have called a shotgun snap into the end zone. Like, that's circumstantial. That's a 1 in a million, and that's exactly why I'm saying, like, we can't count them out, because if it wasn't for that, they would have won the game.
That interception to Pat P was also bad.
There was 2 of them.
He threw that, the one in overtime, he threw that directly to Patrick Peterson.
But see, that should have never happened. They should have won. The Bills should have won. I give all the props to the Minnesota. They're a team. They're scrappy. They fought until never said die. But like realistically, that fumble in the end zone, that's crazy.
I've been saying that though. Minnesota has been my Super Bowl favorite. I like them.
Oh yeah, you're just gonna hop out of nowhere and just say that?
I was gonna say I don't think you said that one time.
I never heard it.
I've never heard
I
it
said it
either.
like I think week 6 or something like that was Minnesota Bills.
Do we have the
was my
receipts?
Super Bowl. Yeah.
Receipts?
All I heard was that you were getting a grill after Jetta started scoring all these teddies.
Yeah, cover me in ice.
He has been hitting the gritty, folks.
He does have a nice fit on.
He's got a mean gritty on him.
Let the people see you.
Oh, yeah, we forgot to drip Spence out earlier. He's dripped up, piped up. Spence has been practicing the gritty. Hey, right foot heat.
But before we jump into those juicy topics about last week's game, let's not forget, follow us at _Sideline Banter on Instagram and Twitter. Hit us with the like, subscribe, follow, and turn those noties on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hit us with a nice thumbs up. Thumbs up for the Aaron Rodgers jersey after getting beat by Aaron Rodgers. My team may have taken the L, but this jersey's still a fat dub.
Facts.
It is pretty nice. I did get it for him for Christmas, so.
Pretty sick Christmas gift. Nike, old school. Aaron Rodgers, Cal. You know, it ain't nothing.
Very vintage, very fire. But, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's jump right into sweeping the socials. I know we got a couple juicy questions that you and Spencer...
Shout out Amble's Cache.
Yes. Is that
Amble's.
Is it Cache?
Yeah, Amble's Cache.
I never knew how to say that word.
Santan Mall. Got all the vintage finds.
They are actually very fire. They have a lot of cool vintage stuff.
And all the shoes.
A lot of big man stuff as well. If you're like a large up...
You're a little burly
he's got your size. And if you're a size like what? 12, 13 shoe? Because he's like a 12.
He's got all the heat, yep.
Or he's a 13, I think.
12, 13.
Basically, if you're a big guy, he's got it for you. He's got all. That's
why I like going there. Shout out the vintage. Shout out Ambles.
But yeah, let's go ahead. Let's jump right into sweeping the socials. I know there's 1 or 2 juicy questions on there. More of a statement from one of our weekly listeners that you guys were pretty amped up.
I'll be willing to hit it once I see a little sweep out of you. Hey, okay. The segment has been officially popped up.
Oh my God.
He went a little too crazy on him. It's all right. We won't.
Got a little too excited, huh?
That is my bad.
We won't hold you.
Hey, that's my bad. That's my bad.
We're not going to hold it against you. We're not going to hold it against you.
The Steelers got a dub this week, huh?
I hate that. First week all year that you're
Pittsburgh's gonna sweep the Bengals this week. Ooh.
It's Thursday, isn't it?
No, it's Saturday or Sunday. Thursday's Packers Titans.
I honestly think something felt different about this episode. I think it's the first episode all year that your team has won and minus loss. Feels like that.
What do you mean?
Like in the same week.
No, I thought week 1.
Maybe.
Oh, like that. Your team lost and my team won. Yeah, week 1 because you guys lost to Tampa
Bucks.
and we beat Cincinnati.
So I've been feeling good lately, and now it do be sucking.
It's okay because honestly, I would have preferred us to lose because we went from the 4th projected pick.
You hear that?
Oh, 100%. We went from the 4th projected pick to now we're 10th. So that means if we keep winning games, we're just going to keep sliding back.
That's okay.
No, it's not okay. But let's go to sweeping the socials.
Well, would you rather lose out or?
I'd rather lose out.
Yeah.
100%. The season's over.
Just having a mediocre season
if for
and
some
not getting anything for it.
Yeah, for some weird, we're either gonna go on a weird run and make the playoffs somehow, which isn't gonna happen,
Right.
and then
And if you do, it's a first round exit.
Yeah, first round exit, or we're gonna try and protect Tomlin's winning record and get as close to that as possible and finish like 8 and 9, and then like it's for nothing. It'll be meaningless. Then we'll be picking like 16 through 18, and it'll be literally pointless. Not even 16 through 18. Actually, yeah 16 through 18.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
No, not fair, but it's okay.
First
Hey, it's
question.
okay.
Enough about them Steelers. Whoa.
Here we go.
First question, Braden Bushman. Rushed for 2,700 yards in high school. He knows a little bit about what he's talking about.
BB3K.
PB3K, crazy. He made a request rather than a question. He just wants his brother, Al Bush, Cardinals fan extraordinaire, can definitely get under some skin on Twitter. He doesn't give a fuck.
He doesn't.
I think it's well known at this point. He doesn't give a fuck.
At Al has good times on Twitter, by the way.
Yeah,
You've probably
and
seen him.
Go ahead and give him a whirl. Al. You say anything about the Cardinals bad? See what he has to say for you. It's always interesting.
Not a lot to say this week, though.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to have him on here. Get him on.
Yeah, that was Braden's request. Have him as a guest, and he just wants he wants Al to pretty much sit in my seat, and you and him just go at it for a little bit, throw some topics around, talk a little football.
Al can come on anytime.
You heard it, Al.
Great guy, but he can come on anytime. If he
Right.
wants to get this work, pause. Anytime.
Coop's giving out work for Al. A meeting of the minds. That could be crazy.
No.
Braden, we might see it soon. Your wish might be granted, buddy.
I'd be down for that. We should have both the Bushman brothers on here.
Both Bushmans. That'd be
That'd be
fire.
crazy, yeah. Al sits across. He'll sit with me, and then Braden will sit across from you.
And then we'll talk about both their dog shit teams.
Ooh!
Damn.
Because the Cardinals ain't riding anywhere.
And the Broncos?
They haven't even gone on the horse yet.
I heard the Danger Witch got taken off the menu officially.
Swear.
Yep.
Dude, I just realized we went to Subway last weekend and we didn't get it.
It's fair. We were on the way home from California. Shout out Tyson.
Yeah, shout out our boy. Shout out the Hattons who just got married in California. Beautiful beach wedding.
Yeah, we had to get a little Subway on the way home, real fuel. We did not. The Danger Witch was an afterthought.
We were watching football on the way home too, and we didn't even think about it.
That's crazy.
Damn, that would have been kind of fire.
There's always a next time.
We could have had a different show today. We could have given an actual Danger Witch
Review.
Actually, while we're on that topic, should we tell the people what we decided, apparently, while me and you were traveling home? Spencer, we'll have you explain it. The loser...
I don't like the idea.
The loser of... I kind of like it, though. Let's put it out there and let's see
First of all, the loser has to jump in Power Ranch.
Yeah,
Lake.
loser has to jump in Power Ranch Lake.
Don't like it.
And then the winner gets to pick what?
The winner gets to pick how many subs, like how many Danger Witches the loser buys for him. But whatever the number is, they have to eat it all in that one sitting. So if they say like 5, you have to eat it all in that sitting, or you got to jump in the lake with them.
Okay, but we have to have
Makes sense.
We have to have some sort of like minimum that they can like, because then the winner could be like, oh, I want one.
Yeah.
You got to make it a challenge.
Like you have to at least say
This was Evan's idea. This was their roommate's idea for this.
you have to at least
little
I
bit
think-
crazy,
I think
out
you
of
have
bounds.
to. I think you have to at least 2.
I think we need to stop giving this so much credit. I think we could put our heads together and think of something better.
Okay, how about you're right. Let's see what the viewers think. If the viewers
comment down
if the
below
viewers,
what you think we should do
Yeah.
for the losing record of we're basing this off of our weekly picks. Whoever has the worst record
at the end of the year
got a little D incentive.
Now, are we doing that
What do
for
you guys
just
think?
regular season, or are we doing that all year long?
Just regular season.
Just regular season.
Yeah, Spencer graciously set up an Excel sheet, and we have all of the scores tracked for began in week 6, and we're going to keep tallying them up until the end of the regular season and see who has the best record. So we'll go over that when we pick teams at the end of the.
Yeah. Speaking of which, after this weekend, Cooper actually led us. He was 9-5. Westo 8-6, and then I was 7-7.
Interesting.
Not very good for me, but
it's been a close race.
Do we have the overall yet right now?
We're neck and neck.
Whoa. What do you mean by that?
What do you mean? I feel like that's a pretty common term, but okay. I mean, you're 2 games ahead.
Okay.
Right
Nice. So we
Fake.
surprised. Fake? We're not surprised about that.
Oh, we are.
No.
a little bit, yeah.
I know
with all
my
your
football.
Steelers picks. I'm surprised that you're not lower.
I have picked them every week, so except for maybe have I actually picked them every week?
You picked against them 1 week. I think.
What week was it?
Let me check.
Yeah, I mean, while he's looking, we can keep going down the sweep and socials.
Yeah, so we got a question from Blake Elliott, Cardinals fan, huge Cardinals fan, has some great seats at the Cardinal Stadium every week.
Probably the best seats, honestly.
Yeah,
low-key.
probably the best in
He's
the
got
house.
some pretty nice seats.
Yeah, if you need a ticket to the Cardinals game, hit my man up. Arizona Cardinals locker room culture vibe. Why is it so negative, and who's to blame? And I think this is an interesting question because we're about to watch Hard Knocks after this for sure, so we'll get a little bit more information on that. But I think it's undeniable. The first episode of Hard Knocks really showed. It's evident. There is a problem in Arizona.
Yeah.
The locker room seems to situationally, on all terms, not really gel in the way that you would want a locker room to gel, especially with guys that have already gotten paid in that locker room. The thing that I looked at so quickly from my standpoint is like understanding Kyler and where he comes from. Texas, biggest guy ever in high school, goes to college. He's still the man, never lost in high school, huge, always been number 1. Has to now go to a team on the Arizona Cardinals where
they're not number 1.
They're not number 1, but he's also not the number 1 guy on the team. D-Hop is there. D-Hop's a bigger superstar than Kyler. And that's kind of what I saw on the sideline of the Hard Knocks episode. I know we can't pan to it, but they essentially got into a jostle match after D-Hop was open on the 50 and Kyler didn't see him. Obviously a throw that...
now the second public dispute that he's had with somebody on the team as well.
Yeah, so obviously a throw that you want a $200 million quarterback to make to an open wide receiver. And D-Hop's obviously an alpha dog. He's been a performer, all-pro multiple years. Considered probably top 2 wide receiver in the league, I would assume, at this point.
I would say that's fair.
Yeah, him and Kyler pretty much get into an arguing match, and I don't think Kyler's ever been talked down to really in that time, being the man in high school and college and now in the NFL. I think that's kind of where the disconnect comes from, is because I think maybe in college when him and Cliff worked together, he got to talk to Cliff however he wants. And now he gets to the NFL, and Cliff might fire back at him because he has a reputation to uphold amongst the team. And there's only so much that he can do letting Kyler push him around. I mean, let alone he makes more money than him now. Cliff is going to have to talk up and really take position of the fact that he's the head coach and earn respect on the squad. And I think at that point, Kyler probably, I think that's where their pre-relationship coming into the NFL kind of hurt them because they have all these predispositions having their interactions in college and now bringing that to the NFL. Like, it's just not the same. It's the men's league. Money is different, and you can't operate under the same pretenses. And that's what I feel like Kyler being in that position, being the $200 million quarterback, being the number 1 guy, and now having to operate with a coach that probably he doesn't feel comfortable being talked down to, or vice versa, feels like he can talk down to, and Cliff's not going to take that. And then also having the situation with DeAndre Hopkins also being another alpha dog in the room kind of makes me think that maybe it's Kyler that is at this point shutting down, and it's kind of because he just, from what I took from the Hard Knocks, a lot of people don't really seem to gravitate towards him. Like, you're the quarterback, you're the number 1 player on the team. There's not many clips where anybody's even talking to him or exchanging with him, let alone like saying what's up to the quarterback, type of thing like you would expect being the guy on the team. Like, he's alone for most of the time. We see him talking to himself before reps. Like, it's just interesting to see that dynamic and how his interactions on the day-to-day kind of play a part in practice and now what we're seeing transcribed to the field. Like, it's really interesting, and it shows there's just layers to whatever issue they have there. So, like, Blake, I can't answer your question. Cooper, you can definitely allude to it, and Spencer from what you saw, but
I can answer the question. I think Kyler is the problem.
Yeah,
I think without a doubt, Kyler is the problem. I think there's issues with Cliff from a coaching standpoint.
But I think Cliff knows they're going to pick Kyler, too. Because
they definitely know he's going to pick Kyler.
Hard Knocks looks like a job interview.
Yeah, and, I mean, the guy doesn't have anything in his house, and I don't think that's on purpose.
Hey, minimalist.
I don't think that's on purpose.
It could be. Arizona open floor plan. You never know. But he could also be saying, bat signal, I'm ready to leave.
Literally,
he's ready to go at any
he
moment.
literally didn't have anything.
TTG.
He had nothing in his house. Like,
He had that lion picture.
he had the line. That line picture was horrible. The fact that he even was like, I'm a Scorpio, so like...
Leo, bro.
I'm
Leo.
a Leo. I'm a Leo, so like, I really like this picture. I was like, dude...
Yeah, that's one thing I don't like about Cliff, though, is like throughout the whole episode or in the locker room, on the field, wherever it is, doesn't have a lot of emotion. He really doesn't lead the guys. He leaves everything.
He's not convicting at all.
And like, this
Not
is
at
taking
all.
place...
And I know there's so many guys who, like Buddha, he's a great leader. You see that in the locker room, but like... You know, Kyler being on the outside of the huddle, like when they're breaking the huddle at the end of practice.
It's
he's
the
on
little
outside,
things, huh?
like, not holding his hand up. He's on the outside. Like, there's just so many things, like, in that locker room that there's just no leadership, it seems like, especially on the offense. But
Seems like nobody wants to be there. They just want to get
Nobody
their
wants
check
to
and
be
go
there.
home.
This is midway through the season as well. So by now, coaches, players, they should be...
Everyone knows what's good, too.
They should be all in right now, or like...
Or they're all
there
out.
should be some sort of emotion, like even regardless of how bad the season's going. Like, look at Dan Campbell. Lions just won their first back-to-back games in God knows how long, and he was literally so hype after that. And they're 2-6, 2-7.
First away win in like 10 years.
It was their first away win in a significant amount of time, but still, like you look at guys like Dan Campbell who's literally coaching for his job
Very vocal,
right now, very vocal, like still trying
They
to
gotta
keep the
get
locker
him.
room.
They
together.
gotta keep him.
Oh, they'll keep him another year, but like
They
he's
have
not
to.
like Cliff just got the extension, so the back of his mind he probably thinks, oh, regardless, because even the guys on 98.7 the other day, I think it was either yesterday or this morning when I was listening. They were almost kind of complimenting Cliff after watching Hard Knocks and seeing how they won. I mean, everything's different after a win, regardless. But after they beat the Rams, they were almost kind of giving him more of a break. Where last week before, because I pretty much listen to 98.7 every morning when I'm driving to work.
Big Cardinals radio guy.
No, it's just because as soon as I turn my car on, they're usually talking about NFL as soon as I wake up in the morning, and instead of plugging my phone in to play music, I'm just like, you know what? Let's listen to some sports talk.
Don't you have a Cardinals jersey in your
I
car you
don't.
just
Shut
wear
up,
on the
shut
way
up,
to work?
Shut up. I do have a Cardinals jersey, but it's from when I was a kid. Bertram Berry gave it to me and signed it at a Cardinals camp. So
He's a dog.
He's a dog. It's literally actually crumpled up in my like extra t-shirt drawer in my room right now. But so if anybody wants it, Cardinals fan, you can take it. But yeah, they were talking. They, like I said, last week before, they were hating on Cliff. This week, because the Cardinals win, they're kind of trying to pick at certain things that Cliff was doing well. And back to Blake's question specifically, after we watched Hard Knocks, picking up from what you were saying, picking up from what Spencer's saying, Kyler just doesn't seem like he is in the environment that he wants to be in. Again, piggybacking off of you saying he's the number one guy when he was living in Texas.
Seems like something's wrong.
Seems like something's wrong. You saying that he's not showing that he's the team leader by getting like to me, if you're the team leader, like you shouldn't be on the outside of the huddle. Even if you're even if you're not breaking the huddle, like you should be when the camera's in there. Even when the camera's on there, you should be the guy right
being
there.
even more so.
You should be right there next to whoever it is breaking that huddle down. Like the fact he's the guy who's on the outside, half-assed, got his arm up, not even like mouthing the break, like not even really trying to make an attempt to look like he cares, and he's right there
he's
on
not
camera.
a part of the team.
Like even when they were showing
mentally,
them,
he's not there.
when they were showing him practicing, like he was kind of like trying to back to what you were saying, where it doesn't look like anybody's really around him. Like
they don't practice hard either.
they don't practice hard at all. I mean,
right.
From what we saw last
what we
week,
saw-
it looked very slow.
they do not practice with any intensity.
from what we
and-
saw, but I mean, I feel
that
like
makes sense why they're the slowest starting
They're
team
all
in
talking
NFL
about
history.
the rain. Like,
Yeah.
they're so focused
Yeah,
on the
no,
rain. It's like, man, I remember being like Pee Wee football, like, oh man, it's raining.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
well, and that's
not as a
it's
kid.
funny because that's kind of what the inspiration of our podcast name is, but literally, but he was like trying to make jokes to his teammates, and like you can kind of tell that they weren't like
just awkward.
kind of around him. He was almost every clip. It almost seemed like he was standing off. Maybe not standing off, but like standing in an area by himself, like not really around a lot of people,
Yeah.
unless they were like in the middle of a play, kind of talking. Like, because what you were saying, they kept showing the players like, "Oh, look at all the rain," blah blah. Like they were showing Zach Ertz, a couple other players, like they were all bunched up. Every time they panned to Kyler, he was usually by himself, unless they were running a play, and it was like post play, like a running back came up to him or something after. Like, it's.
That's why I think it's going to be interesting to watch tonight who they highlight, because they obviously highlighted Buddha and Kyler for the most part last week, and then Cliff. Mm-hmm. But I think it's going to be interesting to see what players they highlight and moving forward. Like, when do they choose to highlight Kyler and why?
Yeah.
It's going to be a very big question.
Well,
Yeah,
I think
I think they followed what, like D-Hop and Buddha. Like
last week was a lot of Buddha.
yeah, well,
Mostly
the main
Buddha and
focus on
Cliff.
Buddha, but like
Yeah.
they followed D-Hop to that.
They did focus on Cliff a
lot.
lot as well. They pretty
Yeah,
much, that
and
whole
then
episode
following
was like a
Cliff.
Cliff episode.
Yeah, and then, I mean, they had so we'll see. I think they're going to highlight a new person every week.
I really do want to see like inside the mind of Kyler because to be honest, I do think he is.
Take
a
us to
problem.
Kyler's crib.
He shows a lot of immaturity. I mean, being so by himself, and I mean, he just seems like he's upset and like he's
He
holding
does
out.
seem
Disconnected,
very
like
angry all the
intentionally
time.
disconnected.
It's kind of
Yeah.
a bummer, but
So I don't know. I think that's the problem. You need to have that leadership, like the chemistry with all of your players, and it's just not there. And that to me is the problem.
well, hey, I mean, it did say he's going to be out another week or so, and what just came out this week?
Cut.
Warzone 2.
Oh no!
But no,
way.
on a serious note, I wanted to add because I saw Blake ask that earlier, and I was kind of thinking about this question. I think the Cardinals have a serious problem in-house as well, front office wise, and I mainly when I say that, I'm thinking Steve Keim
Because of the Eno.
because and I don't I
Shout out Eno Benejo.
shout out Benejo.
Yodi gang.
Um,
I just fumbled the Benjamin. Yeah.
it's okay, but
Fulcrum. Come in.
Fulcrum from The Office.
No.
The Yodi gang.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know Yodi gang.
Yeah.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
I fumbled the Benjamin.
I wonder if we'll see it this week because it happened post Rams game. So I wonder if maybe it'll be highlighted next week. But that'll be interesting as well to see how that, because reports are coming out that apparently they cut him because he was complaining about his playing time. I didn't know this. He only had one offensive snap last week against the Rams.
That's crazy.
Which is, I
Connor was
understand.
back last week?
Yeah, I understand where Eno's coming from because,
Because James Conner's mids.
I wouldn't say
well,
that.
I wouldn't say he's mids, but I understand where he's coming from. Where you basically expected Eno to be the guy while Connor was gone. Maybe not the guy.
He overperformed.
He definitely overperformed. I can't say if or not he was sharing carries with, because don't they have Williams, the former Chiefs back? You know what I'm talking about, Darnell, I think. I know they have. I don't remember if his name is Darnell Williams or not, but
I think it's Daryl.
I think it is Daryl. But
But I don't know.
regardless, he did overperform, and
Yeah, he went off.
I guess where I'm going with this is the fact that you have a GM that if you as a player show any sort of discomfort in your playing time and you make notice of that, the immediate result, unless there's something that we're not being told, your immediate result is you're getting cut from the team. Me personally as a player, I wouldn't want to play for that.
Yeah, obviously. That's my first
Yeah.
guess is that there's something else that we don't know. But either way, like he got claimed immediately off of waivers
yeah.
by the Texans.
So sad too.
Which means
I was
that
kind of hoping he was going to go to like a team that like
was decent.
Yeah, or was like making a run at some point. Like Houston's done.
Yeah. Well, the teams that have the worst record have the first that claim at waivers. So
Yeah.
the fact that he didn't even get past the Texans shows that like his services were warranted in Arizona and that he had a reasonable gripe like coming at them for playing time. Like James Conner is still mids. Like he could be sharing kick carries with easily.
Oh, you're right. You know, I didn't even think about, because Houston is definitely probably the worst team right now, right?
One of the worst.
Yeah, I think so.
So they definitely get. So like, I'm curious as to.
Yeah. So he didn't make it far down the pole.
I'm curious.
Yeah, Houston is the worst, and then the Raiders are.
I'm
right
curious
above them.
what teams put claims, because you're right. Like obviously Houston put the claim in,
he
so
didn't
they
get past Houston.
That's what I'm saying. So they put a claim in, so regardless, they get him because
Yeah.
of the worst. So I'm curious as to what other teams put a claim
Oh.
in for him, wondering if maybe Houston, because I mean they have Dameon Pierce, so like I'm sure some teams probably didn't even think Cleveland or
Yeah, but they probably want to save him on carries and give
Yeah.
some touches so that Damian can be better for next year.
Well, and that's kind of what I was thinking too, which is a great point. I was thinking Damon might kind of be more of the downfield guy where he won't be an every down back anymore for the rest of the year. They might put Eno in for a lot more different, like Eno or Damon will definitely be the
Play them more
downfield guy.
situationally.
Where they'll be situational backs for sure. A lot
Yeah,
of
so
problems
Blake,
in that locker room though.
ultimately, I think the best thing that we can say in regard to Blake's question is watch Hard Knocks on
Yeah.
HBO, and you will get your answer. You'll be able to formulate your own opinion very quickly.
I was just gonna say, there's so many problems in that locker room. Like just from that one episode,
From
from
the outside looking in, that's what it appears to
From
me.
that one episode of Hard Knocks, all three of us have different opinions about all of
Everything
them.
that
All
we
of them
saw.
still kind of connect, but we all differently have some sort of, and that's just from us watching one episode.
Yeah,
like,
so
there's
I can't wait to see what happens.
There's so many problems in that locker room right now. Like, and I'm not even trying to hate on the Cardinals because I think a lot of Cardinals fans will agree. Like, there's so many problems right now. You can't even really sit here and be like, it's this guy's fault, that guy's fault, that guy's fault. Like, it's collectively as a team, as a locker room, there's something going on.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be interesting to see. Like, definitely tune in, and I think you'll be able to very quickly make your own decision on what you think the problem is and why. I'm excited to watch tonight. Once we get
me
done
too.
with this, I'm pretty hyped. So we'll definitely come back with a review of that next week and let you know. But good question. Thanks for getting our Cardinals talk out of the way early. I think we'll probably not revisit that team, but
Yeah, no, we won't. We won't.
my mom, Jen Murphy, who is my all-time favorite QB and why? Interesting.
Hey, there was a second part of that question.
Who's his all-time favorite mom? My mom. Jen, that's for sure. Love to hear it. My favorite QB all-time?
Probably Rodgers, yeah. New age quarterback Rodgers.
Yeah, the way
Or
they
is he
play.
technically new age?
I mean, the way they play, Rodgers, I think, is the best. Like, in my opinion, like, being a former quarterback, that's who I would want to emulate. But I think you can attest to this. I was a huge fan of Mike Vick growing up. I had the cleats. I had the football.
Ran like Mike Vick in high school.
No, definitely not.
He did. Don't let him fool you. He had a couple really nice runs in high school.
I had the jersey. I loved Mike Vick growing up. I used to play with him in Madden. Like, that was my dude for sure.
You were a Russ guy at one point.
I was a big
yeah.
Russ. I was a Russ stan for a
second.
while.
For a second.
I was big in support of Russ because he got disrespected when he was on that hot streak. He was playing unlike anybody in the world.
And he was your favorite user on Madden.
Yeah, facts. He was.
We used to
sick.
do like 16 people Madden leagues, and if Weston got drafted Russ, we all would get pissed.
Game over.
Because he was just, wasn't a good time.
But no, I've had a few. I mean, I used to be a big Russ guy, huge Mike Vick guy. I think that's a loaded question. I like so many different guys for so many different reasons. Pause. So many different quarterbacks for so many different reasons. So yeah, but I never really looked up to Brady or emulated Brady. Like, people really say he's the GOAT, but never been the biggest fan of that guy. I think that'll come to a surprise to some, but
No.
I never really gravitated towards him. But Mike Vick was the shit when I was growing up, for sure.
Fuck Brady.
Unbiased. Who's yours?
I mean, I'm going to be unbiased. I watched the same quarterback for 18 years. It's so hard not to say Ben.
Yeah.
But other than
Yeah.
Ben,
Hater.
I would probably say...
I was never a huge fan of the Cowboys QB.
I did like Mike Vick as well. I had a Falcons Mike Vick jersey growing up, but he wasn't my favorite. It was just kind of like a random jersey I
I
got.
loved Mike Vick.
Probably, dude, you know who I loved for some... Like, he was my wallpaper at one point, Cam Newton. I loved
Facts.
Cam Newton. Like,
My
I loved him for
my
so
mom will
long.
attest to that. I loved Cam Newton.
I
too.
always liked, like, Pierre Garçon was one of my favorite players growing up for some reason. Like,
Cam Newton was
no
lit,
idea
bro.
why.
He's one of the best
Cam Newton
players
was lit.
in college football history.
But, like, to the point where he was really my
Yeah.
wallpaper for, like, a solid, like, year. Like,
he was sick.
no player ever did that other
He
than...
went on a crazy run.
Cam was super sick. Charlie Batch.
I hate that.
Got to give Charlie Batch some love. Steelers backup QB for a while.
What about you, Spence?
I mean, I haven't really, like, because I don't have a team. I haven't really been like following NFL all that much. But as far as recent years goes, I've been watching a lot more. And
We're diverse here. Some college football.
Old QBs that what about you? Like Mark Sanchez,
well,
Carson
yeah,
Palmer,
I love all of our USC
Obviously
quarterbacks. They don't really
pre-NFL
translate
though.
well to the NFL.
Matt
but-
Leinart.
What's up with that?
Yeah, I
A
love
lot
Sam
of them.
Darnold.
Honestly,
Dude, they're dog shit in the
the only
NFL,
one that really
honestly.
did anything was Carson Palmer,
Carson Palmer,
and he
yeah.
like was good and then was bad and then good again.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. I really still
Wow.
believe in Sam Darnold. I think he can come around, but
no.
I think so. No, I
really
do.
just
I
He's
say
believe
about to
that?
get a second chance.
I believe in it.
They're calling for him over Baker.
Swear. Oh, yeah, because PJ's hurt, huh?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Is
What?
there...
No, it's all right. But I was gonna say I think Josh Allen right now is my
Okay.
favorite quarterback.
I like that.
I love Josh Allen.
All right, new age fan answer for
So-
sure. Fucking hype boy
Okay.
TikTok answer,
Yeah.
huh?
I mean, yeah, I guess you could say that, but he's
Why
exciting.
does this guy
He's
jump
really
through
exciting to
tables or
watch.
something?
Yeah, he should be a Bills fan. Go jump through some
I
tables
don't know,
in
dude.
New
I'm
York.
really thinking about joining the Vikings.
Running out of
If
time.
anything, dude, the Vikings. I'm just gravitating towards them.
You hear that, Vikings fans?
Yeah.
Skull.
Facts.
I'm playing
we
God
get a-
of War Ragnarok right now, and it's all like
Oh,
Norse
yeah,
mythology,
you're
just a bunch of
right.
Vikings. I'm just like, oh,
Spence,
man,
can we
I
get a
love
good
this.
old skull? Skull!
He breaks his mic in half.
Skull?
Hey, from here, that looks fucking clean. I can see this guy.
Connor and
Give
Sam
me
are
a
going to
fucking
love
horn.
that.
Get him
Give
on
me
a,
a
get him to
fucking
get
horn.
this guy on the horn.
No, I really though. I am a free agent as far as NFL teams go.
Anybody
Trying to
reaches
think
out to
about
us,
guys
you
who
can
are trying to
recruit
get drafted.
Spence.
I'm gonna
This
get
guy had a
drafted by
chance
an
to be a
NFL
Rams
team.
fan.
How
Now
about
he's
this?
done.
First NFL team to reach
No,
out to us, that's
I'm-
your team.
I'm feeling so inspired from that video.
Facts.
I want to ride out to these teams and get drafted as a fan.
That would be
What do you
sick.
mean?
Like, let any team draft me. They want me to be a part of their fan base. I'm open to it.
I guess, yeah. I respect that.
What happens when the fucking Texans send
Yeah.
Oh, man.
you a limo to come to a game?
So that's probably one letter I'll leave out. Of
Okay,
the
if
mail.
I gotta,
I'm
if
not
I gotta,
riding
I would honestly be
to Houston.
If I was a NFL fan free agent and a team was like, "Hey, you want to be a fan of our team? Come out to our game. Well, here's tickets." I'd look and be like, "You know what?
That's pretty sick.
That's pretty sick." But is that desperate?
No,
Who's
but
your team's
but
biggest
seeing
rival?
That guy who reached out to
Ours?
all those NBA
Yeah.
teams.
Respectively, Baltimore out
Yeah.
of pure hate.
They
Cleveland.
invite you, you're going.
Fuck no. But I'm a Steelers fan already. I'm saying if I was an NFL fan free agent, like if I didn't like a team.
You should be a free agent.
Why? I have the greatest fucking team ever.
I don't know about that.
Shit's tattooed on me. It's forever. Literally.
What'd you say?
Tattooed on me.
My bad.
Tattooed on me. I regret it a
Hey.
little bit because it's so big. I wish I would have got it a little smaller. I wanted it a little smaller. Like,
Regrets his Steelers tattoo.
No
You heard
regret?
it
I don't
here first.
regret the tattoo. I regret how big it is.
You heard it.
It's like my whole shoulder blade. It's literally the whole thing. You both have seen it. It's
That's pretty small.
It's literally. Okay.
My bad.
Okay.
Hey, but shout out Jen Murphy for the question.
Yeah, thanks,
Got a
Jen.
lot of favorites in the NFL. A
Facts.
lot of favorite moms too.
Hey, I think we would all do.
Zach Wilson.
Yeah, Zach Wilson has a few favorite moms. Mom, don't hit up Zach Wilson, please.
Maybe another favorite quarterback.
Next question. Do you think Keenan, from Evan Gilbert, I'm sorry, you guys, we're going to have to ask another dumbass Chargers question that nobody cares about.
Okay, and I don't want to hate on Evan, but he asked that playoff question last week to see if we were going to say the Chargers.
Oh, I bet.
He's the one who asked that playoff question. He's like, if the playoffs started right now, who do we have in? And neither one of us said the Chargers were going to make it.
He was probably,
I love you, Ev, but sorry about it.
I don't think we'll see your team in the playoffs this year.
What's his question?
Do we think Keenan Allen, Mr. No-Show,
Facts.
Silly Putty Hamstring Allen,
Hamstring.
and Mr. Mike look the part but don't show up Williams, coming back for maybe a game, maybe this week, maybe at the same time, but probably not because one of them,
say they've both been maybes for a while.
they'll both be maybes at game time and they maybe come back. Does that make them a playoff contender to you, Cooper?
I
Do
don't.
Mike Williams and Keenan Allen play run defense?
I was just about to say I don't
Don't think so.
I don't think it makes them playoff contenders. I think it helps their case of making
It
a
helps
late
'cause they can't score any
playoff
points.
push. But the Chargers have the same problem that they've had for the last 2 years, which is surprising considering they have a defensive-minded coach, and they can't stop the run. They can't really stop a lot right now.
That's the shit we don't understand.
As most commentators would say, they can't even stop a goddamn nosebleed.
What the fuck up is... Or what the fuck up? What the fuck up, Brandon Staley?
That's how fucked up the Chargers are. What
Yeah.
the fuck up?
Their defense is literally exasperating my fucking vernacular, bro.
They do have a lot of injuries, but still, it's the NFL. You get next man up mentality.
And yeah, I understand. It does suck. Their injuries are definitely a glaring excuse.
Bosa and J.C. Jackson suck. J.C. Jackson wasn't really playing that well pre-injury.
Yeah.
Still doesn't help, but Bosa is kind of a regular. I hate to say it, Bosa is kind of a regular injured guy now. I feel
They've learned how to work around him.
At this point, you should have depth for this exact thing. Like, that's why, I hate to bring up Pittsburgh, but for example, a lot of mock drafts have Pittsburgh drafting, if we're high up there, a high caliber edge rusher, because TJ has in the past now shown that he can't stay 100% healthy all season long. So it's like they're starting to prepare for that.
And Chargers, he got that bag.
He did get that bag. So did Bosa.
He might be done.
Okay. Bosa also has been getting injured a lot, and it doesn't seem like the Chargers, unless I'm missing something, obviously with the signing of Khalil Mack, but it doesn't seem like the Chargers have really prepared themselves for this situation, and that to me is a big red flag considering their defense hasn't really stopped much in the last couple of years anyways.
And that's the thing. That's what we saw in the offseason. They paid their stars, and they got big names in the door, and on paper they looked unstoppable. But we're finding...
people had them as Super Bowl favorites.
And favorites in the best division in football preseason, the AFC West, which
it's the Chiefs division.
Found out quickly is still the Chiefs division, which we said all year. But
I think we were the only ones really saying that.
On paper, they looked the best. They paid all these big names, and we found out very quickly, you may have paid the big names and got the guys in the door, but you have no depth. Mm-hmm. And at this point, the injuries sat in quicker than the long season did, and we saw very quickly that you guys aren't built to go. But I think we would have been seeing the same team and the same kind of struggles happen, understanding if we got to week 17, 8, or 16, 17, I don't know if this team playing those divisional games at the end of the year is going to be ready to go come playoff time, having no depth behind these stars. And some of these stars are older guys like Khalil Mack, like Kyle Van Noy that you brought in, who's been through a lot of situations.
Yeah. He's been a shining light for them from what I've seen, but obviously not enough.
Either way, they're still older players, and having to play a long season and then make this run at the playoffs, you're going to want a guy behind them to spill them for certain plays. Mm-hmm. Get your high-motored, high-paid guys a little bit of rest so you can be able to, compete with these teams when the tough part of the fourth quarter comes, and you need these guys more than anything to be the stars that they are and why they were brought to Los Angeles to shine. And I think we're seeing at this point, the Chargers didn't really plan, manage-wise for the long haul or to be able to run into injury problems in the air.
Look at their receiving core. And I get not a lot of teams are that deep to where your fourth
It's hard to get
guy.
weapons.
Yeah, your fourth guy.
They're depleted completely receiver-wise.
Yeah.
Which is why I think admirably Evan thinks getting Mike, Will, and Keenan could make a big difference. And
Vinny Fan would.
I obviously, I would want to think the same thing, but I think it's too far gone at this point.
It's almost kind of maybe the same as Dallas when you guys were waiting for Gallup to come back for so long, because CD was basically being suffocated every game because you either had CD or you had Noah Brown.
Facts.
And then you guys get Gallup back, and now we're seeing that they're evenly splitting their targets. So getting one, if not both receivers back will definitely help open up the offense more, and I think me and you both agree with that. I think what we're saying is the major issue right now is still their defense.
Yes, 100%. I think offensively, it'll definitely put them in a better matchup situation and hopefully open things up, like you said, for Eckler to be able, because they're one of the, on paper, most high-powered offenses in the NFL, and we expected them to bring in a lot of points and be exciting. They have been so boring on offense because they have no speed and no one to throw the ball to, and it's closed things up for Eckler because everybody's relying on the run or him to catch the ball out of the backfield because all they have to do is drop coverage, and Herbert has to check it down.
They have the second... How do I phrase this? They have the second shortest touchdown. Their longest touchdown.
Yeah.
How do I phrase this? Their longest touchdown of the year is second to last to us, to Pittsburgh. And we all know how bad Pittsburgh's offense is. I think their longest touchdown this year is 22 yards or something like that, and ours was 11. So they don't have that same explosive. Oh yeah, our longest touchdown it's literally a goal line touchdown. Yeah, dude, both touchdowns Pittsburgh scored last week was a jet sweep, George Pickens on the 1, and Kenny Pickett QB sneak on the 1.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, and then
So they keep you out of the red zone, they win.
Oh, pretty much, yeah. Same. Yeah, pretty much. Same thing with the Chargers, though.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, if you keep them out of the red zone, and I think
Because they have no big plays this year.
They
No
have-
explosives.
well, and they don't have any other explosive players. They have Eck, obviously, still, and Herbert, who
Herbert's arm.
We all can agree is a dog, but they don't have anybody who Herbert can
Takes
get the
the
ball
top off.
downfield to. Like Eckler's a great back, but Eckler's not the type of back that I feel like you can.
Can't put this team on his shoulders.
Yeah, like Eckler, you can't line him up in the slot and have him running a seam.
He's no McCaffrey.
Yeah, like you could do that with McCaffrey or even Aaron Jones, I feel like. Le'Veon Bell back in his day, but like Eckler's you're not going to see Herbert bombing a 50-yard pass to Eckler downfield. And they don't have that ability right now on offense. Now again, like we said, if they have that ability on offense, I think it definitely changes their playoff position, but I don't think it makes them contenders yet because their defense is so questionable every single week. And until they fix that defense, which they're starting to show some sort of sign, that to me is when I think the Chargers will be legit. Now I think you've had a glaring issue the last 2-3 years with the defense, and your head coach is defensive minded. Because he's probably going to come back next year, considering the problems that they've had this year.
Yeah,
You would think
injuries a bailout.
You would think he'd get an extra year if they keep having these problems next year, regardless of injuries or not. I think that's when you have to reevaluate. And I know Evan's not a state.
Evan wants him to
Yeah,
gone.
he's not a fan. So it'll be interesting to see kind of
If their 5 fans call for his head.
If their 5 fans call for their head, I mean, we probably know 3 of them. What? Chase Bendel. Shout out Chase.
Shout out Chase.
Evan. Casey Waters.
True, I forgot he's a Chargers fan too.
That's about it. That's all I can think.
That's all I got.
But yeah, anyways, back to the point.
Chargers have bigger issues.
Chargers have bigger issues, yes.
Just getting Keenan and Mike back.
They're there. They are right there. I think getting Mike and Keenan back definitely helped their case of being for a late playoff push, kind of like what we saw last year. But I don't think it makes them automatic playoff contenders. Because look at every team who is considered a playoff contender right now or who is in the playoffs. They have some sort of dominance on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
Washington, even though they're not that great of a football team, their defense is still very good. Dallas has one of the best defenses in the league right now. Buffalo has one of the best defenses in the league right now with some injuries.
Yep.
Minnesota's defense is okay. Jets' defense is coming alive. Like, all these teams have some sort of defensive power behind them somewhat, and the Chargers just haven't shown that.
Yeah, and I think it's a liability, especially in the playoffs. Like, and you can't having a bad defense like that. You can't put the whole game on Herbert's back with no weapons. Like,
Yeah.
and
Because if they get in a shootout, they're not going to win it.
not healthy weapons, not practiced all together weapons, you're just setting him up for failure at that point, and it'll all be reverted back to the defense at the end of the day. So ultimately, I think it's a good thing for you to hope for as a fan to see some more points up on the board, but I don't know if it transitions to more wins in a playoff berth for you guys. So we'll definitely give a shout out to Noah Gerald. Asked a long ass question earlier in the week on Monday at 7:30. So this guy was up and at him. He was typing out messages. He was really plotting here. We'll go ahead and read his effort just to console him, but I don't know if we're going to touch on it too much because we already told you. Everybody, you can find out what you need from watching Hard Knocks. So this Cardinals fan, also another sad Cardinals fan. Early question for the pod. Early for sure. 7:30 on Monday, buddy. Kyler has played 2 games without Cliff calling the plays. During COVID, he had 4 touchdowns in both of these games, 2-0, and Cliff has coached 4 games without Kyler, and he is 3-1 in those games. Do we think the issue is Kyler, Cliff, or that they're just not compatible with each other and would be good or better if they didn't play with or for each other? Ultimately, there is a problem. It's either Kyler and Cliff, and we're going to find out. Get your fucking popcorn ready, baby.
I think
Well, for one, I don't think they're compatible.
They're not.
I think that's obvious.
They're proven.
But I do think Kyler has a problem.
All right.
I think Colt has way more energy than Kyler, honestly.
So we got...
Watching him last week.
That is a lot of people were... Al Bush himself
What?
even tweeted it. Remember he tweeted, Cardinals fans, are we going to talk about it? How the offense was humming?
Yeah, I know. I commented on it.
Like,
DeAndre was eating.
yeah, I think he
All
had like...
game.
I think they said he had like...
Colt look efficient.
Oh, yeah.
I think they said and Cole has been efficient every single game that he's played for the Cardinals.
I've heard a lot of people say best backup quarterback.
Oh, he probably is. Yeah, I would say so.
He's one of them.
He's the first one I can think of. But yeah, like Weston said, you can find out by watching Hard Knocks. And I've actually talked to some Cardinals fans, Hunter Ives specifically, last night on the COD Sphere. And I asked him if he'd watched Hard Knocks yet, and he had even said he can't bring himself around to watch it yet. And I kind of
Can't believe that.
I don't know. I don't blame him.
I kind of, and that's
Because he knows it's bad.
Well, I told him I said to him,
everybody knows it's going to be that way too.
I said to him, I said,
no fucking.
well,
goal.
I mean, actually no, because even if they did a Hard Knocks on the Steelers, and like we were 2-6 when because it starts midseason, so obviously you know what your team's record is. Even if we were 2-6, 3-6, like I would still watch it like immediately, just because like I got to see what's going on in the locker room. Like I got to see what's going on. I was trying to tell him, I was like, you got to watch it because it really does show and confirm that like it's not just them playing bad on the field. Like there is a serious problem going on in the locker room, and like Hard Knocks exposes that. And of course his answer is, then why would I want to watch that? And I was just like, you just got to watch it, dude. Like I'm sorry.
Cardinals fans,
No, I wouldn't blame you.
Bring yourself around to it.
I mean, they're gonna have to watch it.
I think as a Cardinals fan, if you were to watch that, it would just make you more sad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
make you know.
It really is like
And that's why we want
everything
them to
about
watch
it just
it.
had
Yeah.
a very
Yeah.
sad and failing tone to
Literally.
it. That I mean, at least last episode. I'm excited to see what this one
No,
is.
last episode was sad. Like I remember we had just smacked some Dave's hot chicken.
Which I am not going to be opposed to doing after this. You know what rhymes with contenders?
Chicken
Chicken
tenders.
tenders.
Chicken tenders, baby. And I'm trying to be both of
Oh
them.
my
Yes,
God.
sir.
Yes, sir.
That's funny. But yeah.
Spence, honestly, I was hearing tenders on Coop tonight.
You know what?
Excited
You know
after
what? You know what? You know what?
Do
You know
your
what?
dance, summer.
You know what? Tenders on Coop tonight.
Hey,
Tenders
put
on
that
Coop.
shit up.
Hey, put the order in for 40.
That's
Tenders on Coop tonight. Look, only because I was in kind of a bad mood when we first started the pod, so tenders on Coop tonight to make up for it.
Let's
Hey,
go.
can I substitute my tenders for something sweeter?
I'm kind of scared for your answer for sure. No, shut up. I don't.
I'm curious. What is it?
No, we're not saying it on the pod because
Okay.
I don't know what he's saying. I'm just scared. I'm scared for what he.
I'm a
could
little
be saying.
nervous too.
I'm
What
a
do you
little
mean by
nervous.
that? What were we talking about?
What were we talking about?
We were talking about Cardinals Hard Knocks.
Oh, yeah.
Sad.
Dave's Hot
Hunter.
Chicken.
Yeah, but he said something sweeter.
Anyways,
Did it go over my head? Is it
I
too
have
late?
no clue. No, I
Is
don't
it
know.
too late? You don't know either?
No, I had no clue.
I'm just trolling.
You know what I don't know? I don't know how the Eagles lost to the Washington Commanders on Monday.
Yeah, holy shit.
Wow.
Holy shit.
You're a smooth criminal with that transition.
Honestly,
Smooth
though,
translation.
Oh, you know?
I hate,
Sorry,
to, be, I
sorry,
hate to be that guy, but I really think that the refs fucked up that game.
No.
No, well, 100%.
No. Okay.
At the end?
The
There
no
was
face
a
mask.
couple of
The no face mask call. Definitely yes.
Wait,
For sure. Without a
oh
doubt.
yeah. Can I actually be that guy though? That meme of Jeffrey Dahmer with the video, if showing that to Cardinals fans with the Hard Knocks on it, with D Hop and them. I gotta tweet that at Al Bush as a meme. Someone make that for me
I don't
and
know
please
what
send
it
it
is,
to me.
but
Hunter.
I want to see
Hunter is
this.
literally the perfect guy for that.
Hunter, if you can make me
Yeah, but
the meme,
he is literally the sad Cardinals fan on Twitter. So do you think he'll make that?
yes, Jeffrey
will.
Dahmer
I
with
got
the
you.
video.
I got you.
And it's just the clip of D Hop and Kyler arguing and him saying, "Chill the fuck out, chill the fuck out," and then it's just
And then
like
the Hard Knocks tune in the background.
Yeah. and then I'll caption it. I just want to watch a movie with you, and I'll send it to Al Bush.
Oh, that's horrible. But
Sorry, we were talking about.
no, you're good. I love that just because I just honestly I could sit here and talk about that Hard Knocks episode.
I don't know why that just passed.
That
in my
Hard Knocks
head.
episode. We literally were watching that episode, and you could tell all three of us were just like the vibe in the room was like, what is going on?
The drama is on
with this
10. I
football
am
team?
so hyped to watch it tonight. Like, I can't wait.
Oh
I'm
no,
excited.
me as
I'm very
well.
excited.
I'm very excited.
But you were saying you think the refs ruined the game.
The
I
Eagles
agree.
game, the Eagles game,
They
the Eagles
missed.
game.
They missed the
The
face
mask call was bad, and the fact that the NFL, which again I heard on 98.7, shout out. I guess apparently NFL officials. Apparently NFL officials, like not like actual NFL, like officials for the NFL, like league office, they've been pushing for personal foul penalties like that to be reviewable,
Yeah.
and the league every year hasn't even like addressed it when they do the owners meetings. Which, because when they were talking about that on the during the broadcast, in my head immediately I was like, oh, they're gonna see this. It's not gonna matter, like the fumbles. And then when they were saying it's not gonna count, that to me, yes, I agree with you on that for sure.
It's bullshit.
I mean, there were a couple. I honestly kind of can't really think of it off the top of my head, but I remember thinking like 2 or 3 plays there were very questionable calls by the refs. And I mean, I know you sent that one that video of the Cowboys thing too.
Yeah, we got a lot of cries.
Oh, of the
about the
rigged?
NFL being rigged.
Hey, I don't care. Steelers won, baby. So who gives a fuck?
I mean, I feel like there was a few games where I was thinking like, damn, the refs are really kind of fucking this up for them.
But I mean, that's every year. It's every
it
every
really is,
week.
though.
It's every
That's
week.
what I'm
It's been a
saying.
week
The
since
world's
problem.
biggest league, in the most
Literally,
money, in the
literally.
most watched thing in the world, this shit would have been fixed.
How much did you say there was a bet for the Eagles to win? How much was it? Wasn't it like $500,000 or something?
Oh, to win $60,000.
Yeah, in the
Yeah,
video, yeah, I can't
Yeah.
remember.
yeah.
Like that to me is crazy. Like how is a sports book like think about that. Just that one guy put $500,000 on a game. Imagine how many other ignorant bets there were like that. Probably not a lot that were 500,000, but like it does make you think.
So much money involved, so many
Yes.
eyes. It's like, bro,
It does make you think.
something's got to give when shit like this is being fucked up still to this day, 20 years in a row, because of the people that are officiating the game. Like, it's crazy.
Also, the point that you made from that video.
Like, realistically, Steelers shouldn't have had a Super Bowl. San Antonio Holmes catch?
That was real.
I'm just kidding.
That
Sorry.
was real. That's okay. It's okay. Because
I was kidding about being sorry. Let's talk about it.
I relive that moment a lot in my head because it's the last time I was truly happy.
Top
in
5
life.
greatest throws of all
But
time.
100%. Thank you. I agree with you on that. Some love for Ben. No
No love for Ben. Just the throw.
But the video that you sent where that guy is first and only play he'll probably play this whole year, he lines up off sides, like
What the fuck?
same thing with the score, how the Cowboys were favored by 4, and every time it seemed like that was going to hit in overtime, there was some sort of pushback that the Cardinals or that the Cowboys weren't going to, because it was +4, right?
Yeah.
So they had to score the touchdown, obviously, have the bet hit. Yeah, I don't know. It definitely makes you ask the question. But back to the Eagles game. The Eagles definitely had a couple odd calls, but they played very sloppy in that game. The back-to-back turnovers when they were basically
Unlike them.
when they were exactly unlike them. When every time and it was like they would get the ball, and you think, all right, here we go. Eagles are about to drive downfield, win the game, turnover. Okay, defense go out there, make the stop, then they get the ball back, and you think, okay, here we go. Eagles gonna get the ball. They're going to go downfield. They're going to win the game. Boom, another turnover. And then next drive, Brandon Graham gets that very bad. And when I say very bad, I mean on Graham, not the officials. Very bad roughing the passer call.
He was 6 steps away. He could have stopped.
100%. There were people in the comments that were saying
If you were the quarterback and I was Graham, I'm hitting you. But
wait, are you saying like in the situation, like me and you, or you're saying in general?
yes.
Okay. People in
Dude,
the
I mean, how are you gonna stop? That he
He was far away.
He was far.
He could at least, like, situationally,
He was far
game on the
away.
line, he could have jumped out of the way knowing the rules.
I think there's a difference between like if he would
It
have.
sucks, but you got to
about
do
the
it.
one at the end of the game
Yes.
where Heineke just drops like
Yes.
mid thought, like he's like, wait, actually, I'm gonna go down.
Yep.
No.
Well, he was
I don't
getting
think
ready
so.
to give himself up. He was surrendering himself.
There's-
If you play it back, he had 6 steps in between
Yes,
him and
he did. He had a lot
hitting.
There's a difference between
Before
like.
Heineke just all of a sudden went and took a knee.
When
Heineke was down.
When Heineke's on the ground initially, there's a screenshot of the shot, and all you can see is Graham's legs. That's
Yeah,
how
you can't
far
even
away.
see
You
his
can't even
body.
see his upper torso. You can only see his legs coming. People were trying to.
Hey, run the film back, buddy.
People were trying to say in the comments. People were trying to say in the comments that Brandon Graham was in the air, jumping at Heineke when he was going down on a knee. Like that's how outlandish people were getting about it. Like trying to say like he actually could not do it. There's a difference between Heineke like going down on a knee and Graham like obviously like trying to stop himself, kind of use him to lean on him. I think that's different. If they call a penalty on that, yes, but Graham actually put his whole body weight into him and pushed him down to the ground. That's where it's like after he had taken a knee, I will say Heineke did kind of get back up, but I think he was getting back up because initially an initial Eagles player had touched him down already. So I think he was starting to get back up, and then Graham comes in and gives him. Oh, I almost said.
Don't know. To me, it just looked like he was trying to, get loose, kind of break a couple tackles, and then all of a sudden he just decided, like, literally at the last second, he's like, "There's no way I'm getting out of this. I'm just gonna."
Well, that's
take
what
a
he said
knee."
on Pat.
And it just looks like those guys can't really stop their bodies. I don't know. That's just the way I saw it live. And that was the other call that I was thinking of. That I feel like the ref shouldn't have called that, ref in the passer. That's just my personal opinion. I guess you can't really. I didn't see those angles that you're talking about where they have like that much separation, because it really looked like those two guys were. I mean, they weren't going in like full force. Like they were kind of stopping and just like it looked like he kind of fell into him like full speed.
Yeah, you got to know the situation. Brandon Graham at that point,
veteran too. Like
he knew what he was doing, because the play call was Tyler Heineke. He was either going to throw it to Terry McLaurin if he was wide open, or he was going to take a sack. And that's what we're told at the end of the game in that situation is run around, waste enough time, take a sack, don't fumble the ball. And he went down, and for whatever reason, he still got hit. And that's the thing. I mean, that's the name of the game. I will say, cheesy as fuck from my perspective. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Him celebrating the call after and it being like the reason they won. I thought that was so fucking cringe, bro.
No, I agree. Well, because
I hated that. But I think we can all agree as well on the converse. That was cringy, and I don't fuck with that. But undeniable at this point. Taylor Heineke's got that dog.
Oh, yeah, he does. He does.
He's got that doggy dog in him, he for sure.
He's a dog, without a doubt.
He might be related to Herc, goddamn.
Can we get a shout-out Herc on the cam?
Herc?
Nah, he's not feeling it.
Yeah, he's not feeling it. He wants us to be done recording so bad. But I lost my train of thought.
Heineken's got that dog in him.
Heineke's got that dog
He's got a beer named after him.
Does he?
He could get a beer sponsorship.
Heineken?
And he loves Zins.
I was about to say. Well, dude, I will say also it's kind of cringy. They tried throwing the chains on him after the win. I'm like, come on, that's for Kirko only. That's Kirk only.
He does he loves Zins.
The Zin, dude, the Zin
He's
pouches.
a Zin god.
Zin pouches are fire. But I want to ask, should we be worried about this loss for the Eagles? Because
There's some good things, and it's kind of hard to say good.
Good things, eh?
But looking at Jalen on the sideline, this is what I really like to see, is that even after these turnovers, he's not hanging his head down. He's looking at his teammates. We've got time.
He's a leader. He's a leader.
Completely.
He's younger than Kyler, too. He's a leader.
I think,
He's better than Kyler.
There's these trap games that happen like this where you should have won, and it just didn't go your way. That happens, but I don't think that's going to slow down the Eagles, honestly. I'm starting to believe.
Yeah, I bet Young Jeezy's played a few trap games. What do you think about that?
T-R-A-P-S-T-R.
Oh my god, that just gives me Midnight Club fucking vibes.
Dude, literally.
Young Jeezy all over that.
I agree with you. I don't think there's anything to be worried about. I think Commanders are just one of those sneaky teams that have a good enough roster to where they can really beat. They could really beat anyone. I mean, Heineke almost knocked out Brady and the Bucks here. They won the Super Bowl. Remember that? That was his coming out party when he had that crazy touchdown dive where he dived for the pylon. You know what I mean by that, Spence. Looking at me like that, but yeah, I definitely think the Commanders are they're one of those cheeky teams that really could sneak up on you and beat you at any time. Just like the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, Heineke's he's a guy that you would, I mean, maybe not pick first, but you would definitely go into battle with him, riding your team on a, last second drive down to win.
Carson Wentz isn't getting that starting quarterback spot back.
I don't think so. At this point, you got to ride Heineke. He's rallied the troops. You see him celebrating after a win. Mm-hmm. He just kind of
throwing the chains on him after the game.
Yeah, he's got that moxie that the team's just going to rally around. You get Chase Young back in the coming days. They're 5-5 and you know what? We're only 6-3 or 6-4 as the Cowboys, and we're in third place. Like, I'm scared for this division. Like,
potentially 6-4. Not talking shit, just because you guys got a hard game coming up.
I know we play Minnesota next week, and that's going to be a toughie for us. But I ultimately think we'll get into the playoffs in this division. It's a tough one, but watch out for the Commanders. They're really picking up their pace of play and kind of what they're starting to do. And they're a scary team. They got a deep defensive lineman. You got a playmaker in Terry McLaurin over the top. You got some speed. And Heineken proved he doesn't give a fuck. He don't give a fuck. So
He does not.
He can go into battle anywhere. He's beating Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. He beats fucking, Dak. He's beaten Dak before, but he just gets a big win here, and I'm honestly impressed I'm impressed for the NFC East, but to see the Commanders kind of bring up the caboose at 5-5 and play good football, it's kind of crazy.
I want to talk about their wins. They lost to. Where is it? Oh my God, my phone is glitching. So week 1, they beat Jacksonville, who earlier in the season they were definitely a good team, but they're not a good team now. Lost to the Grit Lions, lost to the Eagles before, lost to the Cowboys, lost to Tennessee, and then they beat Chicago, who I think is proving now at this point to look like a pretty decent team, especially since Fields
They weren't at that point.
At that point, they were not, but Fields is kind of starting to show that he might actually finally be the guy. Then they beat the Packers, which regardless is impressive when you beat Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Colts, who are not very good.
They were tanking, but I think they got a little. Both those teams, Green Bay and Indy, I think have a little bit of revival after this last week.
Yes.
Yep.
And they're going to see both of them in the next 2 weeks, the Commanders.
And then they
Or,
lose.
No, not the Commanders, the Eagles.
They lose to Minnesota, and they beat Washington. So they really only have 1-2 impressive wins, in my opinion. But again, they still are a team that could beat anyone. They play the Texans next week, who I think they can easily beat. They play Atlanta, who I think they could beat the week after. And then they got back-to-back division games, Giants, both games. So it'll be interesting to see where the Commanders are at in the next couple of weeks.
They have a bye in between.
Well, yeah, they have
as
the
well,
bye, but
they face them.
They will play New York, and then they go on the bye, and then they play New York again.
Well, other than Commanders, what do we think about the Eagles? Are we still? I think that this doesn't really say much about the Eagles just because it's a divisional game and they just ended up losing a close one where we saw uncharacteristic turnovers and mistakes. I think if we don't see these kind of repeat themselves and them clean up their errors, I don't think it's anything to worry about. I don't think so. I think the loss honestly helps get the expectations off of their back, and now they can really start rolling if they do get things in check.
Well, I think you'll find out too because they play a couple of tough opponents like for the rest of the season.
So we'll see if they're real.
Yeah, they've got Tennessee, Giants, and then Dallas left on their. They have Giants twice, and then Dallas left on the schedule. So I think we'll really see if they are frauds or if they're the real deal.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think they're still a pretty solid team. I like that I like that AJ Brown was like, oh, like now the 17-0 shit's done. Like we can focus on just how we're gonna bounce back from this loss.
Yeah, I mean, it just sits in the back of your head like, man, it's really important. Like everyone's counting that we don't lose a game. I mean, I feel like that weighs pretty heavy on your conscience just thinking about that, and then being down to the Commanders, like, I don't know.
Speaking of,
I was gonna say
people saying you can't lose games. Let's talk about the team that's slowly dying right now.
Which one?
The Buffalo Bills.
I was gonna even make a sicker transition than that.
Oh, whoa! What were you
I was gonna say going from, I mean, at this point, all 4 teams in the NFC East might make it. Let's go to the leader in the other division of all 4 teams could possibly make it as well. They're slated to make it. The AFC East.
AFC East as well.
The leader in that division, you say, well, former leader, the favorite, the preseason favorite.
Well, right now Miami is the leader in that division.
Now they're the third place.
And then, that's right, they are in third place. I think Buffalo's dying. I think they are.
No.
I don't think they're dying like they're not going to make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to make this run to the Super Bowl that a lot of people are thinking. I mean, they did just lose to a really good Minnesota Vikings football team that I think
they just need to get in the dance, baby.
Everybody has to put the respect. Why am I doing this? Everybody has to give them the respect and say the Vikings are fucking Super Bowl contenders.
I think so. But, we were also talking about last week how Josh Allen was hurt, and we didn't know how he was going to play. Didn't even look like it at all.
Yeah.
I feel like that didn't play a factor in that game.
He
was running right at him.
They definitely shied away from him throwing downfield as much as they usually do. And I mean, they did exactly what everybody was saying that the Bills should do if Josh Allen plays, and that's run Josh Allen like he's a running back, which is what they did. But
yeah, it was more so like a fuck you on a lot of the runs. He was like,
it really was.
You think I'm injured? Fuck you. I'm gonna truck your safety or stiff arm your linebacker.
Yeah.
But he always runs like that. But either way, like if he is injured, he's not going to be doing that. So
we can say that Minnesota is Super Bowl contenders, correct? After this win, I think we can finally say that.
They are so battle tested to this point that you can't say that they're not.
100%. They've been
every game that they've been in has been close, and they've found a way
They've
to
all
win.
been one possession ball games, every single one.
And
Which
the
is
one
why I
game
have to
that they
put
did
more
lose to
respect on
was
the
the
Giants
Eagles.
because they've been doing the same
Yeah,
thing.
the one game they did lose was the Eagles, and I believe they lost by multiple touchdowns in that game.
Yeah, I think it was 2 or 3.
I think the final score was like 24-14 or something like that.
I think it was 7.
You're right. I think it was 24-7. But
Yep, 24-7.
I guess what I want to ask is, what does this loss mean more for the Bills, which we maybe might have answered already? Does this kind of show kind of what I was saying, that the Bills maybe are definitely not as dominant, or is this a bump in the road for them on their way to success?
Yeah, my answer is personally, I think the Bills are going to be fine. I don't see any problem in what happened. I think situationally, I'm not trying to take any credit away from the Vikings. Battle-tested team, fought hard. The Bills shot themselves in the foot in that game. They should have ended up winning. That fumble situation at the 1-yard line and the Vikings recovering it for a touchdown is a 1 in a million situation.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, we usually see a lot of games stop with the major mistake made by the kicker. Joseph missed the extra point. They went down 4, get the ball back. They shouldn't have needed to go down and score. They should have just needed a field goal to be able to tie and send that to overtime. That enough should have been
catch of the year.
Exactly. That alone should have been the end of the game. There was magic in that fucking field tonight, or during that game. The Jay Jettis catch of the year, 4th down, literally goes up and skies it. Mm-hmm. The situations that just had in that game, the Vikings were meant to win that game by
I think so.
Whatever means happened in that voodoo fucking football
Dude, it was
occasion.
Jetta's all game though. It wasn't even just at the end.
193 yards.
It was disgusting. He
100%.
was making ridiculous catches, double coverage. Like,
yeah,
he made a very, very compelling statement, like that he is potentially the best receiver.
Did you guys see the Vikings hoodie that this Vikings podcast made? It's so fire. It says, because it was 4th and 18 on that play that he made, so it says 4th and it says big 18, and Jay Jett is 18.
Oh,
that's tough.
It's a completely purple jacket with the outline of the numbers, and then it's like a solid comic book print of Jetta making the catch over the Bills player. It's so tough.
How the fuck did he get that already?
They probably haven't made them yet. They probably made the print, and then people order them, and then they make the print. Like, it was a picture that I saw. Like, it wasn't like the actual like hoodie itself.
He was in it. Like,
no. He'll probably get one though. I wouldn't be surprised.
Either way, I'm not sleeping on the Bills yet. I'm not done on them. I definitely think the Vikings are a good team and have solidified themselves as Super Bowl contenders, as we're alluding to. But I don't think the Bills are a team to count out. They ultimately shot themselves in the foot and ended up losing that game rather than the Vikings winning that game flat outright. The Vikings had to get it out the mud and win the game eventually,
100%.
but
yeah,
the Bills
That's what I think impressed me the most.
The most shocking part, and when you look at this as far as being a Bill upset about the Bills, they gave the Vikings those opportunities then and then again to win the game.
I can agree with you on that.
That's not something you want to see from Josh Allen or a team that's pressing to be Super Bowl favorites and then contenders down the line. So it does tell you something about the Bills right now, but I also think this loss could be a perfect recentering and show that we can lose any fucking way in the NFL if we don't clean up until the fat lady sings.
And Sunday.
The Vikings took advantage of that situationally and proved that we are here to stay. We have the talent to be able to do anything, and if Kirk comes to play, you guys are fucked.
Facts.
So I think that we found out a lot.
It was a midday game.
That was just an amazing showing from both teams, and I think it solidified that these are the two. I mean, these are two of the top dogs in
100%.
their respective divisions.
I agree.
Or conferences.
I think it'll be interesting to see how Minnesota plays down the stretch, because I know they are a team that finds a way to, I didn't want to use those words, but yes, choke.
And I'm hoping they do next week against them Dallas Cowboys. We need a bounce-back win. We need it.
That'll be really interesting.
We need it.
If Minnesota beats Dallas, who is another really good football team this year, then it'll be really hard to say that.
If they look good against our defense.
It'll be really, really,
but our defense
really
played dog
hard.
shit last week.
It'll be really hard not to look at that Vikings team and sit there and say, okay, like,
I think Mike is injured.
can they play with anyone?
He needs to get right.
Yeah, and we'll see. We'll get to the picks here soon. Something that I really wanted to talk about that we didn't touch on last week was Jeff Saturday, head coach, Jeff Saturday of the
Jeff Sabato?
Jeff Sabato?
No.
I don't think it's Sabato. I don't know. I had to cheat to pass Spanish, so.
I honestly don't know.
No, Sabato is no. My bad.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter. But
It does matter.
I was gonna say I kind of want to know now. But Spencer's looking it up. There he goes. Gets his first dub.
Jueves, viernes, miércoles.
What is this, Spence?
I'm looking.
Sábado, domingo.
It is Salvador.
Oh, okay, let's go. Let's go. Okay, this guy's a scholar baller.
Español.
Jeff Saturday gets his first win as NFL head coach. We didn't get to touch on this last week. Kind of wanted to today, real quick. A lot of people are hating on him. Now, if Jeff Saturday has success as an NFL head coach, what does this say about all the people who are really throwing shade at him? I think he's getting a lot of unnecessary shade. Like they're hating on Jeff Saturday like as if he marched in Jim Irsay's office and said, "Hire me as head coach." Like Jim Irsay made this decision. He should be getting the bulk of the hate.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I have a theory about why this happened and what happened. So I think given all of the rift that had at the owners meeting regarding Dan Campbell and Irsay and kind of Irsay bouncing back against, or not Campbell, Snyder, and Irsay and him kind of bouncing back and being the outspoken owner about how he feels and how he's not going to back down about what's going on. I think that the other owners in the league kind of turned their back on Irsay a little bit for speaking out and getting himself involved because that's not something any of them want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And
Considering
I think
that Snyder apparently has dirt on all them.
And I think that this is Irsay's way of throwing like a wrench in the cog as far as all of these owners, we're always seeing them hire the same fucking owners every or coaches every cycle. One of them gets fired, they get picked up by a new team as a coordinator or whatever. We're seeing Irsay kind of say, you know what, you guys want to keep the same people in charge, the same person in the league, the people that are easy to manipulate, easy to operate, easy to make your cash cows make the money. I'm going to throw a wrench in, you know, everybody's plans, and I'm going to hire a former player, someone that knows more than any of you guys, someone that has better connections, better relationship, and makes it more of a players' league. Mm-hmm. I think that's why we're ultimately seeing
kind
the
of
backlash.
like what we're seeing in the NBA almost.
We're seeing backlash from the owners because getting more players involved and more people in coaching is making it more of a players' league ultimately, and that means more money out of their pockets that they have to spend to make the players happy because the players at the end of the day are the wheel that makes the fucking machine go. And if there's a players' league being run by players, for players, by players, the owners lose all control and ultimately have to shell out more money to keep the product going. And with a $110 billion deal, there's money to be given. So that's why I think there's so much pushback from the owners because they don't want to see more coaches in control.
$110 billion?
Yes.
What is that?
The TV deal.
That's their CBA deal?
The TV deal. Just the rights deal for TV. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine how much they're making off of like merchandise and stuff too. So I think about it, like between me, you, and Evan, just in this house, like we each have like
I'll never pay full shit for that.
probably like 4 items.
I've never even bought a jersey.
Actually, yeah, me and Evan really are the only ones, I guess. Evan has that Chargers carpet. He's got the 4 Chargers jerseys. I have 4 jerseys.
Yeah. It's just something, you know.
This Steelers T-shirt, like
Your computer.
This jersey was a
my
gift.
computer.
This jersey was a gift.
Yeah, and we got it at
Amble's Cachet.
Anvils. Yes, sir. But yeah, that's actually I didn't think about it that way. And
owners are shaking in their boots about this decision, and Irsay doesn't care.
that makes a lot more sense why a lot of people are upset about it. Because a lot of people who are upset about it are the people on TV.
Exactly.
Bill Cowher, Joy Taylor, Joe Thomas, like
Dumbasses.
not-
Puppets
not
work,
Bill Cowher, but
it's just people working for
Yeah.
the industry, the owners ultimately.
no, I agree with you, and it is such
They're all voice pieces for the owners.
it is such a weird. At first, I definitely was like, "This is very weird. Like, why would you hire Jeff Saturday?" Like, but the more I do think about it, the less I hate it. Like, I don't think it's that bad of a move because pretty much what you've said. Like,
Well, it's already proven it's not.
It's
He won a game.
But I mean,
he rallied the troops.
It was the Raiders.
Doesn't matter.
They were, you're right.
A loaded roster. They were up, and they
You're right.
rallied the troops and got
right.
Matt Ryan to come back after being benched and win.
That is actually also that's what's interesting to me too. Frank Reich originally started Sam Ehlinger to kind of tank, and so that they would get a better pick. And then you bring Jeff Saturday in, who is a coach, a player's coach. I wonder if he went in there and assessed the situation and went, no, like
He did.
Matt Ryan is still the better guy. Like
He
we're
said
gonna
he's
we're
more
gonna
fit
play
to
him
get the win. That's why
because I feel like Jeff Saturday at first I feel like he was kind of like, oh, like, okay, I'll be the head coach until you guys find someone. But now I feel like he's hearing all this outside noise, and I feel like he's kind of like, oh, no, like, I want to go out there and I want to win some games now.
Yeah, I
like,
can do this thing.
Yeah, like, I could go out there and I could do this. He looks very calm out there. I know a lot of people are saying that he's just going to be, like, the motivator, all that stuff. But, like,
I mean, head coaching isn't about the X and O's.
that's what it is.
It's
like,
motivating and interviewing.
Yeah, like, literally, the head coach, you're there.
Unless you're Bill Belichick.
You're there to oversee everything. Unless you're Bill Belichick or a coach like Cliff, like these coaches who want to take more responsibility and play call. But, like, I said this a couple weeks ago when we talked about Cliff. I think as the head coach, your sole responsibility should be to oversee everything. That's why you're there. Like, that's why you had success as a coordinator or whatever you were doing before, so that you could.
You got to be a master motivator and a communicator.
Dan Campbell, baby.
Facilitator.
We're kind of seeing.
Tomlin.
Did you see what came out today about Tomlin? Apparently, he almost retired like a year or 2 years ago.
Went to the Cowboys?
No, because he wants to go do TV. Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's strange.
Super strange.
Very strange.
And somebody made a good point.
Some may say.
He wants to get on
Doctor
Ben's
Strange.
podcast, huh?
Mike T, come on. Multiverse of Madness.
That'd be insane. If we got Mike T for any reason, you guys would never hear from me again.
Mike T, we will let you punch Cooper in the face as hard as you want.
You definitely can. I would let him do that.
That would be so sick.
I would let him do that for sure. If Mike T
In
wanted
my
to punch me in the
Black
face,
Forces?
he's got his own though. Remember?
Yeah, I want a match, but his is spray paint. We'll let him wear the real thing.
Yeah, facts. He's probably the same size as you. What size are you? 13? Mike T's
12.
probably at 13.
12 in Forces.
Okay. But yeah,
Mike T's kids, if you're seeing this, tell your dad he can punch Cooper in the face. Get him on here. I'm going to send this to Mike T's kids.
we ain't lying. But yeah, I think we're seeing what the Lions were trying to do in Dan Campbell as well with Jeff Saturday. And it'll obviously Dan Campbell had the coaching experience, but I'm very interested to see how this plays out for them. And I think it's going to be good.
I mean, right now, they got to win.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Taylor looked solid, too.
Yeah. The line looked better. Hopes are high.
Yeah.
Shaquille Barrett's out for the rest of the year. But
yeah, he got season-ending surgery today. Or was that today? Yeah.
I think from what we saw of them on Sunday, spirits are there. They look like a different team.
Mm-hmm.
And they had the fight to come back, which I don't think we would have ever seen prior in the year. They didn't really have that fight in them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Colts are a team to watch out for. They're still in a shitty-ass division. They could win.
Raiders can't even hire a new head coach because they don't have any money.
Raiders fans?
Yeah, how the fuck?
How does that happen?
That's crazy.
I don't know.
Mark
That's
Davis
wild.
is hurting.
How does that happen? Like, I'm like genuinely curious. How do you not have?
Mark Davis is the only non-billionaire owner.
But it's the Raiders. Like, how are they not like?
The Las Vegas Raiders? That's crazy. What the fuck?
Oh, who's gonna win that game? Who fucking knows?
Who cares?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
a
guess
bunch
you're
of
right.
dog shit.
I mean, should we get to the picks?
Yeah,
Was there anything else?
No, honestly, how does this sound, boys? We'll make the picks. I'll rack up a bunch of wins on you. And we'll get in the car and hit Dave's Hot Chicken, and we'll assess the further struggles of these Arizona Cardinals.
These Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, yeah, I would love to.
That sounds like a fucking night to me.
Sounds like a good night to me.
All right, let's get hot on these picks, fellas.
I'm down for it.
You want me to break them down? I already got them pulled
I
up.
got you.
You got them with the odds and everything too.
Yeah.
FanDuel.
No, it says it on
I'm on ESPN.
Okay,
yeah, it
cool,
says
cool,
it on
cool.
right.
Yeah. We got a sick Thursday night matchup.
It is actually very sick.
Pretty decent.
I think it's sick.
It is very sick.
We got the Green Bay Packers coming off of a nice win against the Dallas Cowboys. Shocked the world. Cooper called it last week. He was the only one to say that our Cowboys were going to fucking take it.
How about them Cowboys?
It was a really close game. Dak ended up losing that game for us. Very sad. Threw too many picks.
Yeah.
Turnovers in the red zone.
You
Can't
guys
have
need
it.
Zeke back too.
Need Zeke back. But anyway, this is about the Packers. They're hot right now. playing the Titans. Got a close win last week by 7 points. They came back and won. And we're going to see them match up early week matchup in Thursday in Green Bay. Who are we liking, fellas?
Give me the Packers.
Packers in Green Bay?
Give me the Packers. I think the Packers are all the way back.
Titans.
I think they're all the way back, baby. I really do. I do. And
All the way
I
back.
think they're all the way back. The last time the Packers started 3-6, I believe this tweet said 2015. They went on to win every single game up until the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be like, oh, lightning strikes twice, blah blah. But like I really
Rodgers
think
has done it before.
Rodgers has done it before. Watson looked really good last week against a really
Coming
good
out party.
defense. The defense, the Packers.
Trayvon Diggs never covered him, though, on any of those touchdowns. Little sus.
Facts. Packers defense finally stepped up in many ways, getting multiple turnovers, making stops when they
Still
needed
lit up
to.
33 points.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like they showed up when they needed to.
They got to stop when they need it. But also, Dak choked when they needed it.
I will agree with you. A.J. Dillon looked nice. Aaron Jones looked nice.
Yeah.
I think the Packers.
They ran the ball.
Titans struggled last week against a not anywhere near as good offense, I think, as the Green Bay Packers against the Broncos. So
Facts.
I think coming off a short week's going to be a little interesting, but I'm taking Packers.
And, yeah, I think I'm going to have to go ahead and agree with Coop. Tennessee Titans, they let up 17 points last week, or they only scored 17 points last week, and they let up 10. I just think that if the Packers offense is really clicking and they're back in it to play, Tennessee's not going to be able to have the firepower to hang with them.
I don't know. I'm kind of second guessing myself now.
You do have to look at how Tennessee played against a really good offense like Kansas City, holding them to only 17 points.
Good point.
But that was 2 weeks ago. We're talking about the now.
You know what? I'm going to stick with it, though. I'm going to stay with the Titans. I don't think good teams lose 2 weeks in a row, especially like giving up that many
Titans
points
won.
against a shitty offense.
The Steelers have lost a lot of games. What do you mean?
Titans won last week.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
17-10.
But they're
So they're due for
they,
an L.
They were down. They were giving up some points to the shitty Broncos. I mean, I don't know.
All right. So what?
I feel like you come back on
He's going
defense
Titans.
And you make a
Titans?
statement.
All right.
You make a statement on defense.
You're going Titans?
I'm going Titans.
All right, bold to step out on a Thursday night game. I'm taking the home team for sure.
Okay.
Next
They're
game.
3-point favorite.
Who?
The Packers.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
All right, so we got a little opening here. To kick off the morning, got Justin Fields running hot, another 100-yard rushing performance, and he's going to take the Chicago Bears into Dirty Bird Atlanta. Stack up against Marcus Mariota, and I think I'm going to go ahead and flat out right. I want Chicago here. Give me Chicago. They're the hot team. Cole Kmet has really come alive in the past couple weeks. He has 2 touchdowns last week. Justin Fields just looks unstoppable on the ground, and I really don't think that Atlanta has the facilities on defense to really catch up with Justin Fields and stop, the threat that he provides on offense as far as running the ball and his arms starting to come alive a little bit. Give me Chicago. Shout out John L.
I'm going to go Chicago as well. Atlanta, to me, they're having quarterback problems now. They're starting to lean away from Mariota.
After that meme of Mariota just throwing the ball up, being fucking parallel to the ground on Thursday night against the Panthers.
That was just the worst decision I think I've ever seen. Like, just take a sack.
Hate to see it.
Like, why would you do that?
You're talking
like,
about the one where he was
you don't
literally
even know
like-
where you're throwing.
Hate to see it.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that was that's a tough one. I'm starting to doubt Atlanta a lot.
Yeah.
And Justin Fields
Yeah,
coming
the Bucks
alive,
are back.
I feel like I
unfortunately.
can't pick against Chicago right now.
Yeah?
My past picks, not been good with Chicago.
Yeah.
Kind of got some PTSD with them. But
They ruled out Khalil Herbert for the season, unfortunately. Get well soon, Khalil. But still got David Montgomery.
I think I'm going to give
Chicago.
I'm gonna give him another chance. I'm going to go Chicago.
All right.
I like
Perfect.
Chicago.
So we got Cleveland. Went and took the L last week to Miami. Got a lot of points put up on them, and they're going to go ahead and take the trip to Buffalo, New York, play the Buffalo Bills in the freezing cold.
Who? Cleveland?
After an L. Cleveland going to take the trip to Buffalo. Give me Buffalo.
Give me Buffalo.
Bounce back win, Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Oh,
for sure.
welcome to the live, Delcar.
Buffalo sweep.
Ooh, Tyson, let's go. We got some people on the live. Love to see it.
Delcar, what's up?
We're making our picks right now, ladies and gents. Feel free to let us know.
Next game, we go at Philadelphia, Dirty Bird off of the loss. They're going to go ahead and visit who we just talked about, Jeff Saturday and the Indianapolis Colts. So we got Eagles-Colts matchup, Colts at home. Eagles are obviously favorited here. I think it's a no-brainer. I think
Eagles come back.
Eagles have to get the win.
They have to.
Give me the Colts, baby. I'm going Colts all the way.
Colts at home. Cooper has the
Jeff
Eagles.
Saturday train keeps on going.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Well,
I think only because I made a point a couple weeks ago with the Pittsburgh Steelers how they were undefeated at one point. Once you lose one game when you're on that hot streak, it definitely weighs on you a little bit as a team, and I think the Eagles are going to drop a couple, and then I think they're going to get right back up. And I think they're going to look at this Colts team with Jeff Saturday, and they're going to overlook him.
I definitely think this is a team that the Eagles can overlook being undefeated last week and then dropping a game that they don't expect. But I think they're going to come focused and ready to go this week. If they really are good, take some adversity under Sirianni and see if Jalen Hurts is really this leader that we think he is and that he has been proven to be prior to this point. And let's see if they can come back and get the win. I got Philadelphia.
Spence.
Oh yeah, I got Philly.
All right, perfect. Next game, AFC East classic matchup. We got Zach Wilson, the MILF Hunter, going to take the trip into Foxborough. So we got the Jets stacking up against New England. What do we like here, boys? I think this is a weird matchup. A little creepy. Is this creepy?
It's very creepy,
It's
but
so
creepy.
I think New England
took one on them earlier this season.
New England took one on them 29-0.
Yeah.
29-0.
When
But
the Jets were hot, they just fucking said, take this L.
I think the Jets.
And that was in New York.
I think the Jets. Ooh, they're going to Foxborough?
Yes, sir.
Give me New England.
I think so too.
Give me New England.
I think Patriots take
For
this
sure.
one.
Yeah, I think
Kyler saying Jets. We got Kyler saying Jets. Del Carr saying Pats. Mike Good. This guy's hot as fuck.
Hey, thanks, Mike Good. I think I don't go against Bill at home against the Jets. It's a team that he doesn't take L's to.
Kyler, I don't know how to do that.
Give me Patriots.
How do you add somebody in? Oh, go live with Kyler Burke. He's got a parlay for us.
All right, Kyler, let's hit the parlay.
We'll see. We'll wait till he joins in. Spence, did you say?
Yeah, I got Patriots.
Patriots.
Oh, here we go.
Clean New England.
Okay, Burke, you're live on Sideline Banter. Let's hear the parlay.
I just banged my face with a pickleball paddle about 20 minutes ago. I'm gassed. I'm bleeding. Jets take the division. Hot take.
Whoa!
You heard it here.
Jets take the division.
Kyler Burke, he called it.
Okay. You got a hot parlay for us or what?
I'm driving right now. I don't have the part. Let me text it to you. I'll text it to you. I'll let you guys get back to it. But Jets take the division. Hottest take of the day.
All right.
All right.
Hottest take of the day. Check back in with that one. John Gucci Burke, I know you'll like that take. He thinks
I don't
the
know
Jets
how to close this.
are going to take the division.
See you, Kyler. Thank you, brother. How do I close this out? Oh, there we go. Oh, I just invited him on accident again. But I'm going to go Patriots as well.
All right. Well, that's not a step in the right division if Kyler thinks that the Jets are going to take the division. But I just think Bill's too tough to beat at home, knows this Jets team too well, has already seen him and taken him 29-0. I think there's only so much they can do in the second matchup. Give me Bill. All right. This is kind of a shitter bowl here we got. Los Angeles Chargers, we actually got the Los Angeles Rams. So we got the Rams after a tough divisional loss to the Cardinals last week. And they're going into New Orleans, a team that just got beat by the Steelers last week. This is two teams that I think we can agree, they're some fucking losers.
Yeah.
These guys are both fucking
losers. Why are
losers.
the Saints fucking losers all of a sudden?
They've been losers.
Okay.
And they just gave up a win to a shitty team.
So I want to make sure.
That should be tanking
Whoa, wait a
realistically. Yeah, we're all on the same page here.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that we can agree this is also a shitty game to pick. At the end of the day, who gives a fuck?
Who is it?
Yeah,
Saints
Rams-
and
Rams are
Saints,
shit.
Saints Rams?
Rams Saints.
Rams honestly might be the worst team in that division.
Can't run the ball. Bad defense.
yeah, you're
Cooper
probably
Kupp
right.
is out.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Is that
Where is
season
it?
ending?
New Orleans.
Who's the favorite?
What do you have betting line wise? As far as I got Saints favored at 55% to 43%.
It's on the right side. So New Orleans is a 3.5 point favorite,
It's in New Orleans?
and it's in New Orleans.
Give me
I'm gonna go Saints.
Rams.
Rams.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm taking Rams.
Rams as well.
Taking Rams.
How's Jameis doing?
Jameis is injured still. It's been Andy Dalton. He's been giving the ball over to everybody.
Oh, yeah.
What's up, people? How we doing?
All right, fellas.
And Cup is out for the season.
No, he's just got a high ankle sprain.
What? Looked like his knee was fucked up.
Yeah, he's out for a while though.
Oh wait, yeah, I think he's on the IR, so he's out for at least 4 games.
We got interesting matchup. I think I know a lot of where we're gonna lean here. We got the Detroit Lions, 2-game win streak, first in a long time, coming off of a road win that they haven't had in I don't know how long, 10 years plus. They're gonna travel to New York and take on the Giants that are hot right now. Second in the NFC East.
Oh.
Saquon is playing crazy. I don't know if you guys saw this. Saquon referred to Daniel Jones as Vanilla Vic.
Whoa.
So Vanilla Vic is Danny Dimes' new nickname, which is fucking sick with it. Vanilla Vic.
I do like that name a lot.
I like that better than Danny Dimes. But
We got to talk about Danny Dimes at some point too. He's playing lights out, I think,
yeah, he's going to play himself into another contract in New York. He might be that guy.
which might be unfortunate for them. We'll see.
Fellas, are we riding the Giants to end this, kind of fairy tale stretch by the Lions here? I like Giants at home.
You know what? I like Giants, but on a side note, gotta give the USC Player of the Week to Amon-Ra St. Brown.
There we
Okay.
go.
With a shout out to Leonard Williams. I mean, he had a big game for the Giants last week. I know they played the Texans, but
All right, nice.
those were my two picks.
Ufunga had
I've
another
picked an
pick, too.
upset.
Yeah, Ufunga had a good game.
I've
but-
picked an upset already. Yeah, Colts. That was my upset.
Yeah, apparently. But this could be another upset.
I really like Detroit in this
Oh
game.
my!
I like Detroit in this game too.
Wow, you guys both
It's in
take
New York.
Detroit?
It's in New York.
I don't know if I'm going to take him, but I like Detroit to.
Okay.
Yeah,
To keep it hot.
yeah. I think it's going to be a close one. I definitely like
You know
Detroit to
what?
cover, but New York's going to win.
No.
Fuck it. Give me the Lions.
All right.
Wow.
Give me the Lions, baby.
Big play there. Big play there.
So you're gonna go Giants?
Yeah, I'll take
Yeah.
that.
There's something about the Lions right now.
I'm hoping for a Lions win because that'll show that the Giants aren't as real as we think to lose.
Yeah,
it-
you
to-
honestly,
Yeah, well, you want
need
them to be-
You
I
need,
need
them
the Giants
to
to lose.
You need them to start dropping like a couple games.
100%.
For sure.
I mean, Lions, please go all out this week and get the dub. Prove me wrong here, but
But you're thinking Giants.
Giants, yeah. All right, Carolina at Baltimore. Baltimore.
Yeah.
Baltimore.
Let's go.
Carolina, L bags. Hold this L. They're pretty much done, I think.
They are done.
Let's go for a pick.
Yeah.
All right, boys.
Bryce Young season.
After an electric Monday night win, we got the Taylor Heineke's Commanders taking on the Houston Texans in Houston. Who are we liking here? I think we got the Heinekens are fighting for a fucking spot right here to fight.
Titans.
They're 5-5. They get another win. They're tied with the Cowboys for fourth place in that division. And Houston's obviously at the bottom of their division. Just claimed Eno Benjamin off waivers. What do we think, boys? I think I'm taking the Heinekens.
I don't know. These are two shitters.
Two shitters.
I want to say Commanders. For some reason, I feel like Houston just has hung around with everybody this year. Even last week in the Giants game.
Something is
They
telling
gotta
me
win
Houston
one,
too.
right?
Even
It's
last
been a
week in the
while.
Lions game or the Giants game, that was a one-possession ball game. Like,
Give me Houston.
Really?
I like that. I
Give
like
me
that a
Houston.
lot.
I was gonna take it too, but I think everything in me just wants to pick the comrags.
All right.
Whoa! I'm
No,
gonna
my
go.
fault.
Whoa! I'm gonna go.
I'm going Commanders.
I picked too many upsets this week. I gotta get a solid dub. But this isn't. I'm gonna go Washington. Fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna go Washington.
Something's telling me Texans. This
Something is telling me Texans too,
I
but
feel it. I feel that.
I feel like I've picked too many crazy games so far, and
that one's just too much of a mix-up. Like,
I'm gonna
Texas
go
has to
Washington.
Get a win.
I'm gonna go Washington.
All right, boys. So Washington, you're going Washington?
I'm going Washington.
Yeah, I'll say fuck it and take Houston. I think why not?
Yeah, balance out all of our records.
I think the win for Washington was a gimmick anyway, so let's see if they'll drop one on this next week. So we got an interesting matchup, AFC West. We got the Raiders, who just came out and said they can't even pay a new coach if they were to fire McDaniels. So he's going to be there no matter what because they don't have money to move that resource anywhere else. They're going into Mile High and playing Russ Bott and them fucking dumbass Broncos.
What time?
2:05. It's going to be the afternoon shitter. I am taking the Raiders. The Raiders are coming off an L. They're in the story. They're in the fucking.
It's obvious that they have to be stuck with McDaniels now, so I feel like that might help
Evan
them.
said Broncos, but after a fucking shitty ass.
I want to say Broncos too. I think their defense will hold the Raiders. I just hope the Russ can
It's a
do
divisional
something,
matchup, though.
but- Fuck,
Where's
I
it
don't
at?
know. That's another tough
It's in
one.
Mile High.
Oh, give me Denver.
All these shitters, dude.
Give me Denver.
Yeah, I want to say Denver.
It's
as
in
well.
Mile High. Give me Denver.
All right, I want to say
A lot of
Raiders.
these games this week, though, are toss-ups.
I want Raiders.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Broncos. I just hope they can fucking get something going on offense.
Actually, they both lost last week, so there's not really a bounce back. Yeah, I like Raiders. Give it to me.
Delcar keeps saying Dolphins, and they're literally on a bye.
Fins up.
He did say earlier, let me get a fins up.
You get a fins up, baby. All right, next game. I think we can all agree this is going to be a pretty sweet game.
Probably game of the week,
No bias.
in my opinion.
Dallas Cowboys off of a fucking thrilling loss to Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. We got them going into Minnesota after a hot win. Just beat the Bills. Cloud 9. They're at home. And you got the Cowboys defense coming in to hopefully play in. I mean, I want a good performance here.
Let's see what you think, people.
You know what I'm gonna say?
Oh, shit. I was showing him last week.
Oh,
so
wait,
it don't
Spence,
matter.
can we get another one of those for the live?
No.
Let's get one more for the live, huh? Come on.
This dude's a closet fucking Vikes fan. Yeah, give me the Dallas Cowboys. I think our defense comes to play. Kirk Cousins not playing at 10 a.m. They're going to be playing at home.
Your mother made a pick.
Oh, no.
You want to hear it?
Vikings.
Yep.
Let's go, Jed.
That's disrespectful.
I want to say Vikings, but I feel like the Vikings I still think are Super Bowl contenders, but I feel like at some point they have to drop another game, and I feel like it would be not as bad if they drop this game to Dallas, considering Dallas is a good team.
They have choked against us in the past. I'm sorry, Connor, but we can watch the game together. I think it's going to be an L. We'll see, though.
Dude, this is too hard.
It's going to be a good one.
Evan saying Skull.
Of course he is. He
Um,
already knows what we're about to say for Sunday night, buddy. You buckle up.
Give me. It's in Minnesota. Give me. My brain is saying Cowboys. My heart is saying Vikings. Give me. Fuck.
At this point.
Give me Minnesota.
All right.
Damn it. I don't know why I'm leaning so hard towards Dallas.
Say it.
No, give me Minnesota.
No, say it.
Give me Minnesota. Give me Minnesota.
All right, two
Give me
Minnesotas. I'll take Dallas. I think we pull it out. Tough, grindy win. We dropped a game that I think we
Delcar
should
said I got Dallas.
Let's go. Yeah, we shouldn't have dropped that one last week. I think Dak refocuses. Our defense comes to play. Micah's hopefully not a big fat bitch next game. And whatever injury he was kind of toting last game, he clears up.
You want to hear what Evan has to say? Can you read it?
Oh, you fucking. All right, we'll get there, Doofenshmirtz.
You're not going to like what we said about your question, Evan.
But you guys will like, I think, picking this one. We got Joe Burr
Oh.
and the Bengals. Joe Mixon just had a 5-touchdown performance a couple weeks ago. They're coming off a bye week, I believe. They're going to go ahead and go into Acrisure, that trash bag, water juice, hot dog fucking stadium,
We only know Heinz,
and play the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Yinzers?
I am a Yinzer.
So do you want to say this first, or do you want me to say it?
Oh, go ahead.
Give me the fucking Bengals.
And I'm riding on that too.
Let's go! Who they say they're going to beat them Bengals?
I'm just waiting to see if anybody in the live's got anything to say, but nobody does. And you guys already know who the... I'm going to put this right here so the people can see it. I'm going Pittsburgh Steelers, baby. Getting another dub on Joe Burrow. 4 interceptions.
Jobo? That's a
Joe
fire
Burrow.
nickname.
4 interceptions, 1 fumble loss last time they played, and my man TJ Watt, he's hungry for another sack. Or maybe 2. Who knows?
Who's going to win that division?
Don't worry.
Bengals?
I'm calling the cops. Did you see that? I'm calling 911.
Oh. No, don't do that.
But no, give me the Bengals.
I'm going Pitt all the way, baby.
All right. Well,
The road to the playoffs start in Cincy. I'm just kidding. We're not going to the playoffs.
All right. Well, the game that you guys have not been waiting for, because I think we know as well as the rest of America where everyone's leaning. We got one of the hottest teams in football that added another weapon who seamlessly integrated into the offense. Kadarius Toney scored a seamless touchdown, fixed his gloves mid-air to Massa guy.
So ignorant.
He looks like he's next up. New York
Juju's probably not going to play this game, so he's going to see some targets.
And I don't even think it matters that Juju's not going to play. Kansas City is going into L.A. to take Jackson Mahomes, and he's going to make a bunch of TikToks in Chargers land. Kansas City by 50.
I'm taking Kansas City as well.
Of course, Kansas.
Clean sweep. Doesn't even matter that Mike Will or Keenan's back. I'm sorry, Evan.
Does Evan think that the Chargers have a chance?
Evan said, "Bolts up, baby."
Wow.
Your mom's saying KC.
Yep. Kansas City, I think, is a unanimous favorite here, and for good reason.
Shout out, Jen.
I think their offense
Jen's
is
real. She knows what's up.
Jen does know what's up.
Their offense is way too powerful for the Chargers to be able to stand by, especially without Bosa.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I just give me Chiefs to score good points on Monday night or Sunday night.
Do we think? Sorry, I said go ahead, and I still cut you off. Do we think it'll be a shootout like the first game? Still?
Nope.
You guys think clean? You guys think clean dub by Kansas City?
Yep.
I don't think we have anything to tell us otherwise because the Chargers have not been able to put up points consistently since that game. So at this point,
Del Carr's also saying Kansas City.
I think everybody thinks it's Kansas City. That's why I think. I mean, it could be a shock the world type of win for the Chargers, but right now you have to ride Kansas City for sure.
I agree with you. I think Kansas City's the favorite to win the whole thing still.
Yep. All right. Well, we got Arizona Cardinals.
Thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen.
Monday night matchup. San Francisco 49ers are going to go to, what is it, State Farm Arena? Is it still State Farm?
I think it's State Farm, isn't it?
Yeah. They're going to come here. Christian McCaffrey, Jimmy G, going to spend their night in Scottsdale and probably hit up Old Town after they probably beat the Cardinals' ass is what I'm thinking.
No, they're playing in Mexico City.
Yeah, they're playing. I was about to say it's an international series game.
Yeah, you're right. Estadio Azteca.
Azteca.
Estadio Azteca.
Give me the Niners by
Azteca
2
Stadium.
touchdowns.
Niners by 2 touchdowns. Bold.
Yeah, they're 8-point favorites.
Give me McCaffrey. 80 plus total yards and a tutty.
I am also going to take the San Francisco 49ers. And I think my pick may or may not be corroborated even further by this Dave's Hot Chicken and Hard Knocks.
I was just about to say, we might have a completely
true.
different opinion that is leaning more towards the Niners after
It
we
could.
watch the next episode.
It could, but
Yeah,
I am
give me-
leaning towards my opinion being corroborated, and we get even more fuel to our fire.
Yeah, give me 49ers.
All right.
All right.
Sweet. So we only differed on a few picks. There's a few ways for us
There's
to...
a few of them.
I mean, I definitely put some outlandish picks out there.
You had a lot of upsets this week.
Yeah.
So I'm really banking for the Texans. I hope you guys pull it off in the Raiders, so we'll see. But I don't know. Do you guys have anything else to say? I think it was a good episode. We broke down
agree.
everything. Thanks for everybody that contributed on Sweeping the Socials, as well as for joining us in the live while we make our picks. I think it was a good-ass episode.
We're going to start doing that every week. We're going to go live when we make the picks, so tune
Yeah.
in.
Definitely appreciate the continued support.
Yeah. Continue support. Consistent flow of just great people.
Yeah.
Great Sweeping the Socials.
Talk some more shit on @_Sideline Banter on Twitter, Instagram with us. Hit us up, and then definitely drop us with a subscribe, a like. Hit us up in the comments. Talk some shit with us on YouTube as well. So
Here we go, Steelers.
hey, we got a big week of football ahead of us. So
Enjoy it while you can, because
yeah,
it's
for
almost
sure.
gone.
Yeah, enjoy it. We're gonna be missing it here soon. So everybody have a great rest of your week, and thanks for tuning in with the boys once again.
Thanks again, guys. Have a good weekend.